I told you to avoid this Linux distribution like the plague. It's Omarchy, the opinionated Arch-based distro by DHH, who is the creator of Ruby on Rails. In this video, I'm going to install it, use it, give you an in-depth review, and see if my opinion still holds. This is gonna get spicy, so let's go. So in my hands, I have two things. I have a USB stick with Omarchy on it, and I have a ThinkPad T480 that I'm going to install this on. So let's boot this up and see what the installation process looks like. So obviously I cannot record the screen before everything is installed, so I'm going to use a super high-tech solution to just record my screen like this. And it's just asking me to enter my username, set a password. Okay. That's it. Let's set the time zone to Amsterdam. There we go. Nothing else that I can configure. There are no real choices that I can make here. And let's see, it is asking me, yeah, dev STA. That's my main hard drive. So I will overwrite that. So it's now going to be installing Omarchy on my disk. So we have installed now, and I basically just ran the install script, entered my username, password, and that was it. And then I started it up, and basically I just saw the wallpaper here, as you see here. Like, this is what I saw. And then I pressed super space to find my applications. And here, interestingly, I just tried if OBS was there, and it was. So one advantage of doing a bloated install as a Linux YouTuber is that at least OBS was already here, so I didn't have to download that. So gotta say, that was pretty neat. But yeah, that is basically all that is running now. So it is telling me to set up Wi-Fi. So I clicked that. That didn't... Oh, here we go. It went on the first screen. So let me see. Are there any known networks? Let me see. It is sort of a TUI application, and the one that I'm doing is MikroTik. All right, I'm connected to internet now. So let me see. This is then I'm like, this is familiar. Like, this is Hyprland. So I have used this before. It tells me super K for cheat, so super K. Okay, so here it's going to show me what the key bindings are. So, well, let's check out a terminal then. Yeah, okay. So this is just the standard Hyprland experience, I would say, that I'm very familiar with already. Yeah, it has all of the animations configured, which I always turn off the first thing that I do. But hey, what do we have? We have a system where OBS is now running already. If I press super space, I see all sorts of stuff though, like one password, Alacrity, that's my terminal emulator of choice, so that's good. Basecamp, this is proprietary software that is where DHH is the co-founder of. ChatGPT, I mean, we'll get into bloat in a minute, but already I see that there is just so much here. Hey, this is another one of his. Kdenlive, a video editor. There's so much stuff on this already, and that is also why the damn ISO was 8 gigabytes when downloading. So let's see if I want to, which browser is here? Is it Firefox? Which browser? What does that show in the key? Browser, super shift alt B. So is that Chrome or what is it? Chrome? Yeah, Chromium. Okay, so Chromium is the browser. And let's see. If I go to Ubuntu desktop, let me just see how big is Ubuntu desktop these days. Okay, so that is 6 gigabytes. Oh, the Omarchy ISO was 8 gigabytes, so that's 2 gigabytes of bloat that you're getting with it. So before I start complaining about anything, let's just look at what we have. So we have our Omarchy system. It told me if I press super K, I can find the key bindings. So here it's going to show me terminal tmux. Like, why do you need a shortcut for tmux? That's interesting. Browser, file manager. Okay, so let's just go through these one by one then. So the terminal, here we go. Here's the terminal. So this is Alacrity, and yeah, I mean, of course this is personal preference, but I don't like the transparency that I can see the wallpaper through here, but that's of course personal. Let's see, what do we have here? We have a good looking terminal. Do we have, yeah, Starship? So it's using Starship to create the prompt. If I check out my home directory, what do we have? Pictures. Which shell are we using even? Echo shell. We're using bash. Okay, so that is actually a big plus here. I'm actually surprised. I was expecting Z shell, but I'm really surprised that the default shell is bash on this thing. That is a big plus. Well, that's good taste. Well done. I see that config is located in the .config directory. So this also shows me basically everything that is configured on here. So that's good. Are we setting any XDG? Yeah, we are setting the XDG config home. Yeah, okay. So I like this. These are some good design choices. By setting these environment variables, using these conventions, and using bash as the default shell, that's a big plus. That's good taste. So yeah, I wasn't expecting that actually. So let's figure out if we're actually on an encrypted system. And to do that, I'm going to start by writing df-h to check out the disk layout. And here I see dev mapper root. So that's a dead giveaway already. So if I now do lsblk, yeah, here we go. We will see that this is my disk. There are two partitions on there, and on there is a crypt, a logs container. So that's how you can see it. So again, that's a big plus. Like, I gotta say that I'm liking what I'm seeing here. These are some good conventions that have been applied. Now, one thing I'm curious is that it had a shortcut for tmux. So let's see what that is about. If I press Command K, or Super K, here it says tmux. So what is that about? What happens when I run the tmux key binding? It's actually not doing anything. Let's try that again. Super Alt return. Here we go. Okay, so it's just opening a new shell, but then inside of tmux. And let's see, my tmux is now pre-configured. I see that he is actually doing something that I also always do. Maybe he's even looked at my stuff, but I always love to change this from 0 to 1, because if I now create multiple windows here, you can see that it will start from 1, 2, 3, and the default is actually 0, 1, 2, like in programming. So maybe he has looked at my stuff too. But the reason for this is if I do Control B C and I create one, and if I want to go to the leftmost one, then Control B 1 is much more logical in my brain to go to 1 on the left side of my keyboard rather than having to go Control B 0, which is going to be on the right side of my keyboard. So my brain doesn't compute in that direction. So that is better. For me, it's better to have it like this. So I like that. We need to talk about something, which is this very interesting statistic that my team shared with me, which is that 78% of those of you who are watching this video are not subscribed. And I want to ask you, please, can you please do me a favor and just click the subscribe button below this video? It's a completely free way to support the channel. You don't know how much that means to me, but it really, really helps me to create these videos every single week. If I ever helped you, or if this video is helping you, please click the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It's a completely free way to support the channel, but it really helps me to achieve my goals. Thank you so much. Let's keep going. So let's check out ls tmux. Do we have find? Which FD? We have FD, FD team, FDH, tmux. Okay, so it's in CD. Oh, that's where the tmux.conf is. It's not in the home directory, and it's not in the normal config directory, is it? It is not. Oh, there it is, CD tmux. Okay, that's good. So tmux.conf. This is also a good time to check out if we have bat. We have bat, so we can bat the tmux.conf, and it's going to show it in a little bit nicer output. There's no colors here, interestingly. So which cat? Is that symlink to? User bin cat. Okay, so it's not symlinked. You actually need to use bat. Let's see, which nvim. So if I do nvim tmux.conf, we're also going to start neovim for the first time. So this is going to, let's see, downloading all sorts of stuff for neovim. I'm wondering, are we using LazyVim actually? Well, let's dig into the Vim config a little bit later. But this is then all of the tmux configuration. And yeah, this is where I'm going to start disagreeing with Mr. DHH, because we're setting the prefix to control space. And to his credit, he is keeping the old Control B prefix, which I am very happy with, because that's the right way to do it. We are setting VI mode, that's good. PI changing the pane to the current path, current directory, that's nice. But here we see that he is changing all of these different key bindings. And let me see, is it also going to, it's still going to work with the default default key bindings, fortunately. Ctrl B O, Ctrl B O, Ctrl B N. Okay, so that all still works. It's not changing it. But this is where I really disagree and where I think Omarchy is going to install bad practices into people by changing the default key bindings. And if you check out their documentation, so if I go to the documentation, let me see, space, was it Chromium? Yeah, Chromium, Omarchy. If you check out their documentation and go to hotkeys, and if we check out the tmux session, then what I don't like that they do here is like they're going to show you prefix V to split pane beside, vertical, split pane below, horizontal. So here, if I do in my tmux then Ctrl B V, I don't like that. This should be the default key binding like Ctrl B %. That is how you actually do it. And the reason for that is because if you learn yourself the behavior of using Ctrl B V and Ctrl B H, then suddenly when you are on a virtual machine somewhere with tmux on it and you want to split a window, it won't work because this is different from the standard key bindings. So, and this, if you're just a casual user who is using this for fun, or you're just a developer only working with Linux on your own system, that is fine. But if you are, like me, someone who makes 6 figures a year as a DevOps engineer, who is used to being on production incidents and needing to debug live servers while the application is down, then you don't want to be in a situation where you're thinking, what was it? Was it again? Ctrl B %, Ctrl B, how do I do it? How do I open the tmux help? No, in these situations, you want to be as fast as possible and you want to have everything in the fingers. So the default key bindings of tmux are maybe a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but trust me, I've done this for years, and this is the advice I got from my senior mentors when I was coming up, and they were very strict with me. Never change the standard key bindings, and that advice has served me so many well through countless of production incidents. So don't do it. And this, what I see here, is bad practice, and it's going to teach people bad practices and bad habits. If you want to be a proficient command line keyboard focused user, then for God's sake, use the standard key bindings. Okay, end of rant, but that is what I will say on that. Now, let's check out the Vim configuration because, okay, so it is using LazyVim, just like I do, so that's cool. We don't have to go really deep into that because they probably didn't change much there because LazyVim is already completely specced out. So the next thing in the key bindings was the browser, but we already did that. What does the file manager look like? Super Shift F. Okay, this is just the basic. Which is it? Is it Nautilus or is this Dolphin? I don't remember. Let me see. Shift Enter. Which not Dolphin. Yeah, it's Nautilus. Yeah, it's Nautilus. Okay, so that is that. The next thing that that they have is launch apps, super space. We see that the Copilot key. What is that? I have no idea what Copilot key is. Super alt space, Omarchy menu. Super alt space. Ooh. Omarchy menu. Okay, so they have their own menu. That's interesting. Trigger, transcode, toggle. Okay. Apps. So you have your apps here. Learn, key bindings, Omarchy. Okay, that's opening the Omarchy manual. Okay, this is pretty cool, pretty sophisticated. About, yeah, showing a free fetch. Okay, it is all pretty smooth, you know. I gotta say, it is smooth. It's well thought out, and it is also working very smoothly. So I gotta say, like, if you are a casual user and you want to have a smooth window manager experience, then which looks very polished out of the box. Like, I personally would never have a transparent terminal because that would distract me too much. And also, I don't want to wait a second or two for my stuff to open in the screen. So I personally always turn off all of these animations. Browser, Chromium here. Like, I don't like that, but that is personal preference. And that's also why I use a very boring sway configuration, right? If you see my stuff, it's totally optimized for speed and ease of use, but it is looking very smooth. But the main problem that I have with Omarchy is that it is so bloated. Like, if I open up the menu again, like, what we see is one password. So they're pushing a password manager on us. They're pushing Basecamp on us. They're pushing ChatGPT on us. Discord, Docker. I mean, I would much rather have Podman at this point. GitHub, Google stuff. Hey, you know, he's a co-founder of Hey. LibreOffice, that's fine. But then we have OBS and what was there Kden Live on on there as well. Yeah, Kdenlive. So that's a video editor. I mean, there's only a very small subset of the population that needs OBS and Kdenlive on their computer. Like almost no one needs a video editor. So I don't understand why you would include all of this in your base ISO. Like it's just so bloated. There's so much in here. And frankly, he does say it's opinionated, but I don't like the fact that, and of course I'm a businessman myself. So, but if you check out hey.com, hey is like an email and calendar thing. And I respect the business decision to include this in your distribution because you're the owner of the company or co-owner or whatever it is. But if I run hey here, yeah, I mean, I respect the decision, but you have to know what you're getting yourself into when you download something like this, that this is going to be included. And that's all I will say about it. Like the whole point for me when I use Linux is to use free and open source software as much as possible and to curate my own experience. So I like to start with something that's very basic and then build it out from there myself, you know? And here it has open code, Claude code, all of these opinionated things included with it that, yeah, I personally don't agree with. And some people will like it. Some people like to be told what to do. Some people like to be in a submissive position and waiting for others to tell them what to do and what to use. I mean, I can respect that, but it is much better, in my opinion, to do your own research and figure out what you want to do yourself. The use case I see for Omarchy is if you want to learn this sort of rising stuff, which I don't recommend because it's a waste of time, but you can install this and you cannot just look at the source code. But I mean, they have spent a lot of time on their Hyprland configuration, obviously. So if you are nvim, so you can look at their config files as inspiration if you want to, you know, build your own. But honestly, I don't recommend spending a lot of time on rising. And this is, of course, a personal opinion. And I'm also focused on landing jobs, right? So I always look at it from that sense, like how is it contributing to my career and is this a good use of my time? So I don't recommend rising a lot, but if you want to get a quick setup, you can check out their Hyprland config and then use that as a basis. I mean, it is sophisticated, it's smooth, it's working well, it's suited for beginners, I would say. But as I said before, it's teaching you bad practices, it's showing you the wrong things in the documentation, and if you follow the conventions that they have set up in for example with tmux, you're going to really limit yourself in your learning. So I would say use this as inspiration, pick from it what you like, and then build your own stuff from there. And if you want to learn how to do that, then check out the link in the description. There is a free 8-hour Linux course there where I show you how to work with Linux on the command line from the ground up. I'll show you how to install it, how to manage your dot files, how to get a setup that's actually productive. It's all completely free, and it also includes a community of over 6,000 people learning Linux together. So check out the community in the description below. It's completely for free. I'm hosting workshops in there as well every single week, so you're gonna love it. Check out the link in the description. It's completely for free. See you there. My opinion still stands. I think you should avoid this distro. I do respect all of the work that went into it. It's beautiful, it's smooth, it works well, but you're at risk of learning bad practices and being forced some proprietary software down your throat, which goes beyond the whole point of Linux, in my opinion. That is my verdict, but hey, it's completely free, so just download it, check it out, and see if it works for you, but be aware of the risks of using it that I have shown you. If you like what I said, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm full of shit and you like this much better, let me know in the comments because I learn from that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.